What's good, YouTube land? It's Morphin time! You know, I haven't reviewed the Lightning Collection in a long time, but I figured I just got a figure that I wanted to talk about, and it's King Sphinx. Like, yeah, they're doing Monsters of the Week now. Ignore the broken package. I think I did that transporting it after I bought it. So, yep, he's a big boy. Here's a big picture of King Sphinx with the Lightning Collection there. Same picture of King Sphinx over here. A continuation of that shot right there. A big old picture of him wielding his staff on the back. That's about it. So yeah, they've done Lord Zed, Goldar, the Putties, a few Putty Patrollers, and now they've started doing Monster of the Week. They've done two they've also done Rita in a 2-pack with Lord Zed that I haven't bought yet. They're doing the first two they've done are King Sphinx and the Pumpkin Wrapper, because I guess those are two of the easiest designs from Mighty Morphin to turn into action figures, at least so far. So here he is in his tray. Tail hanging out the back. Let's pop him open. Yeah. Oh boy. He is one thick boy. That sounds wrong. So, King Sphinx, actually remember him, comes from Season 1, and more specifically, Episode 4, A Pressing Engagement, as the Monster of the Week from there. This has bugged me to this very day. Why? I don't understand. Maybe you don't notice it. Maybe no one else will get it, but this is the design of the Green Ranger suit from the one episode of Dino Thunder where Tommy was in a coma with the silver stripe and the silver. Why would you use that for season 1? Like, I guess to make it look different because they use the American design of the suit with the floppy chest panel for that, but it's baffled me since the day I've had this. I will never understand. Oh, and this is going to be really nerdy, but you can tell the difference between the American suits and the Japanese suits by not only Tommy's floppy chest shield, but the American suits have a lot more padding around the collar than the Sentai equivalent. So, I've always wanted to talk about that. It's bugged me to hell, and I don't know why it. Well, I know why it bugs me because it's technically inaccurate to the suit using season 1, but moving on. Let's just move on. King Sphinx. He is a big boy. Big, meaty lad. For example, hilariously, here's that exact same suit version of the Green Ranger suit. I didn't even plan this. This is completely by accident. There's the exact same version of the suit. Silver morpher, silver paint on the helmet. You know what? This would be a random, amusing story, but they actually sort of used this version when they did the Legend War in Power Rangers Megaforce, and there was actual fan backlash to that because, again, the suit was only in a coma in a dream sequence. Tommy was in a coma. Maybe that's why he got the look of the suit wrong. But because also our one thing, the Morpher is supposed to be gold. There's not supposed to be silver paint on the helmet. And so there's actual fan backlash, and Jason David Frank actually, I think he commented something to the production team. They actually had to go in and post and put green back over the lines of the helmet. I don't think they did the Morpher. I don't think they touched it up with gold, but that's just an amusing story. So here's how he scales with a regular action figure in the Lightning collection, just to show you just how big he actually is. Here he is next to, ignore the title belt on, Jesus, he is bigger than Goldar. Ignore the title belt on Goldar. It's just a thing. Yep, in my head, the champion of the United States is a bad guy. I don't know. Well, here's Lord Draken wearing the big cookie, aka the Attitude Era WWF World Heavyweight Championship. Here he is next to Lord Zed. Freaking dwarfing everybody, but yep. So the main critique people have had is there's not enough paint in the face. Now, I might go back and watch Mighty Morphin for like the 4th or 5th time, but I'm like, I don't even, like, I remember King Sphinx. I don't remember his design that much to actually know. I mean, you actually can kind of see it in the artwork, because there's a little black on the nose, a little black indicate the opening of the mouth. So I could do that, but I really don't feel like it. And if the name wasn't obvious enough, King Sphinx is based in Egyptian mythology. You know, the sphinxes that were on the pyramids and things. So, of course, our insert ancient Egypt here. I like the design. I can see why they made it into an action figure. It's simple enough to do. Like, a lot of the monsters of the week are a bit too complicated, I would say. Like, this guy in the pumpkin wrapper makes sense as probably the most simplistic rubber suit designs. But there's just enough to get that idea. First, you have the I don't know if it has a word, but I don't want to call it a hat, because only the pharaohs wore these in ancient Egypt. I don't know what it's called. His headdress, the pharaoh's headdress. I'm just going to go with that. It also amusingly comes out in a bit of a snake design at the front, which is amusing. And he has a gigantic. Is that Gene Simmons' tongue? Or is that supposed to be a goatee? You decide. But I do like the kind of creepy smile he's going for. It's very amusing. He does have some hieroglyphics. Wow, I can't say that word. Egyptian lettering, hieroglyphics, on his pecs, along with his shoulder armor. I don't know what they translate to. Hopefully they don't translate to "It's time to duel." But it's time to duel. But there's also one on his codpiece, which you want to flip up. You don't, you pervert. And that's about it. He also has a bit of a lion's tail, because, well, I think sphinxes or lions are based off sphinxes or something along the line. There's something connecting them. that would give him a lion tail, I guess. Articulation wise, the head is on a ball joint. You can go that far before things get in the way. You can go up and down, little side to side bobble. Shoulders can go about that far before the shoulder pads get in the way. You do get a bicep swivel. You do get your double jointed elbow. Wrist swivel is also on a hinge. And there's molded in a grip for his weapon. Also, where his gigantic wings go. Your waist has got a joint up top. I'm guessing it's a ball joint. And you've got a big old hinge right there. Nothing but you don't have a joint right there, but he can go that far back, that far forward, and all the way around. And definitely hand feel is different. This text, I don't know what it is about this guy, but he feels different to these guys. Also, here's a comparison to Zach. And if you want, here's him with Jason, because he actually fought Jason. I think he fought the rest of the team, but I don't remember. Here he is with Billy. Hips can go all the way forward, about that far back, because his thick ass. You can get a beautiful, decent spread. Thigh swivel. You get your double jointed knee. All that goodness. You get ankle pivot at the top, hinge down there. So you get 3 different axes of motion in the ankle. And he also has holes on his feet for stands, I guess. Oh, and the tail is on a hinge. So base body. I don't know why. It sounds weird. It is weird, but I just want to keep touching him. He's weirdly soft and yet not. I don't know. But we do have to talk about his accessories. So you get 2 giant wings, an effect part, 2 hand swaps, and his signature staff. His sort of crescent moon, kind of cheap looking version of Rita's staff, I guess, that you can kind of shove in his hand. You kind of just have to get it through his fingers, but he can hold it. And I guess he did hit Jason with it at one point. Although the hook is good for reaching around the neck and yeeting them wherever you want. God damn it, Jason. Woo! It can fit in his hand. It could fit in. You can't slide it in though, because the bottom is thicker. But you can fit it in both hands, or in each hand. I think no, you can actually, if you want for some random reason to pose, you can actually get him to dual wield it. Wield it with both hands. That's cool. Speaking of hands, we get an extra set of hands. You get an extra set of big, meaty claws. You get 1 slightly more curled hand, slightly closed. And then you get just a straight fist. So I take the weapon out of his hand. Which one? It's a left fist. So you just kind of force that out. Force the new one in. And now he's got a punchy fist. which has the same hinge, although the hinge doesn't work quite as well because it's a bit small. It's a bit too far in. No, that works about the same. And you also get a right hand that's let's see if it's better at holding the weapon. Oh, it's also got a up and down hinge as opposed to a side to side hinge. So you can see the difference. These are side to side hinges, while this one's up and down. So I guess it's better to actually probably as a proper weapon holding hand. If it'll shove in there, there we go. Although it's kind of harder to get his weapon in there because his hands are a bit more curled. But he can actually, like if he had a sword, he could point his sword forward, which is very nice. The one thing you always look for if somebody's a wielder of a sword, like not like this guy, but I mean, I guess it works for a staff as well, is kind of like he can just hold it in front of himself naturally with just bending his arm or bending his wrist. So that's a good hand. I approve of that hand. Give it 2 out of 2 hands. And we can attach his or try to what is okay, so it's kind of basically somehow yeah, sometimes I'm not the biggest fan of these effect parts. Like they're a nice idea, don't get me wrong, but if you're not sometimes I'm not 100% sure what they want me to do with it, because even though it shows an image, something similar to this. I think this is kind of what it wants me to do. Yeah, that's close enough. Not exactly, but it's close enough. There. So there you go. I guess he's doing something, an attack. I don't know what the names of his attacks are. I don't remember them, but let's show his last thing with his gigantic wings, which are even bigger. Where's Goldar's wings? I have Goldar's wings somewhere. Goldar's wings. Look at that. Yeah, that's... Yeah. I don't even keep Goldar with his wings on because most of season 1 he didn't, or all of season 1 he didn't have them, but there is a hinge if you want to. I don't think it matters, but I'm just going to attach them like this. No, it's definitely inward. And then also, I think he did a flapping wings attack to Jason. I'm trying to remember the episode. Like, I think he flapped his wings really hard to send Jason into another dimension in that episode. Granted, it's been a couple years since I've rewatched Mighty Morphin, but might give me more reason to rewatch it again. Even though season 1 is arguably the most cheesiest of Mighty Morphin, still. It definitely passes that. It's in that so bad it's good kind of category for like just. So you can do a flapping wings And I think that's everything on this guy. So, overall feelings, I like him. I'm glad they're doing more villains. And I hope they do Monsters of the Week from other seasons than just Mighty Morphin. I know Mighty Morphin's the big pop culture one, but also I didn't even show. There's a lot of texture, a lot of nice design going into these wings. Every single little flap sculpted very nicely. There's a kind of a gradient paint job on them. It's slightly silvery and white mixed in. They look really good. Will I put them on him? Will I have him wearing them the whole time? Probably not, because they're big, bulky accessories. You could also swivel them. You can get a swivel. You can get a flap. So, yeah, I mean, actually, thinking about it is much, because he never didn't have his wings, so I'll probably keep him with his wings on, but, like, that's why I don't have Goldar with his wings on, because most of the time he didn't have them on. Like, he was giving them back for season 2, and I think they got taken away again. Or I just, because in season 3 and Zeo, he kind of barely played a role. Well, no, much more Zeo than season 3 barely played. He still played a heavy role in season 3. There are so many other things going on in season 3 that it's like Rito, Master File, Rita and Zed getting together. Oh, I think I've talked long enough about this guy, and also not about this guy, but things that are sort of related to this guy. So, yep, I am gonna go look for that the pumpkin wrapper set, because I so want to recreate the scene from that episode where the Rangers wear pumpkins on their head. I am unironically not being serious. That is hilarious. Although thankfully the pumpkin wrapper figure does not wrap. The action figure, the character wrapped, which was but the toy does not wrap, thankfully. So, yep, I'll I'll be on the lookout for that guy. So, until then, thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed, and keep it more phenomenal. May the power protect you. Bye.